You're not fading. You're just finally becoming. There comes a moment in life that no one prepares you for. It's not dramatic, not loud, not tragic. It's quiet. You wake up one morning and realize the phone didn't ring yesterday, that your name hasn't been spoken aloud in days, that the calendar is mostly blank, except for a doctor's appointment and a note to buy more tea. At first, it feels like something is slipping away. Maybe its relevance, maybe its purpose, maybe you. But here's what no one tells you. You're not disappearing. You're just arriving. Somewhere deeper, somewhere quieter, somewhere more true. You've spent decades living for others. You gave, you worked, you cooked, you planned, you raised, you held things together. And now, in this long and quiet season, you are invited, finally, to meet yourself. Not the busy you, not the pleasing you, not the productive you, not the original you, the one who remembers how to sit still without guilt, the one who finds poetry in the steam of morning tea, the one who still feels joy when sunlight lands on the skin just right. Yeah. This is not what the world calls important, but it's what your soul has always longed for. Start your day gently. Before the world asks anything of you, give something to yourself. A whisper, a stretch, a slow breath that says, I'm still here. And that is enough proof. No one watching. Which means at last, you can move at the pace of your own spirit. You can choose peace over urgency, solitude over noise, depth over distraction. This time of life is not a fading. Let your refining mornings be sacred, not because they're dramatic, but because they're yours. Light a candle, open the window, let the wind in. Say good morning to the quiet. Say good morning to yourself. You don't need to earn the day. You only to earn the day. Need to enter it fully present. Create your own rhythm, not out of obligation, but out of kindness. You can pour your tea slowly. You can bless the silence with music. You can walk to the mailbox and call a pilgrimage. Too small to matter now. Every step, every blink, every pause is sacred. And yes, loneliness might visit. It does for all of us, but you don't have to fight it. You can invite it to sit beside you. Offer it a chair. Let it speak. Often, it doesn't want to take over. It just wants to be seen. So look at it, hold it gently, and then let it pass like a soft breeze, because it will. Well, it always does. Very much alive. And that aliveness is in your hands. You get to choose softness now. You get to choose joy. You get to dress for yourself. Smile at strangers. Talk to birds. Cry during old songs. Laugh for no reason. You get to find beauty in ordinary things, because now you have the eyes to see them. A spoon, a folded sweater, the smell of something warm from the oven, the rhythm of your own footsteps in an empty room. These are not leftovers of life. They are life. And your body it still remembers how to move, how to sway, how to stretch, how to breathe. Let it, not to chase youth, but to stay connected. Let your muscles feel remembered. Let your breath feel cherished. Let your skin feel like home. Speak kindly to yourself, out loud. Even if it feels strange at first, say, I'm still learning. I forgive you. I'm proud of what we've survived. I love who we've become. Say it every day until you believe it. Until you believe it. Heart softens enough to receive its own warmth. You don't need permission to matter. You already do. And if no one calls, call your own name with love. If no one visits, visit your favorite memories with reverence. If no one sees you, light a candle anyway. And let your own soul be the witness, because this life, even now, especially now, is still yours, still real, still real, still real, still not the everything. You feel ready. When your spirit has rested long enough in the arms of stillness, you'll sense it, the quiet invitation to step back into the world and offer something new, not something grand, not something honest. And so, as this gentle beginning draws to a close, you might find yourself asking, what can I offer today? Not to the world, but to the moment in front of me. That is where we begin again. The smallest rituals often hold the greatest meaning. So much of life, especially now, is found not in the big events, but in the small, sacred rituals we repeat. They seem ordinary, but they are anything but. They are anchors. They are steady hands. They are quiet declarations that say, this day matters, I matter, and I choose to show up. Beware. You don't need a schedule full of errands. You need rhythm, something to hold on to, something that holds you back. Might be it's tea at the same hour. Might be it's opening the curtains and greeting the trees. Might be it's humming a song you once knew by heart. These rituals don't need witnesses, they need sincerity. Even brushing your hair slowly, with both hands, with intention, can feel like an act of devotion. Give yourself structure, not because you have to, but because your soul finds peace inside of gentle boundaries. Try rising at the same hour, lighting at the same hour, same lamp, playing the same music as the sun comes through the window. Your body remembers. Your heart responds. Even your nervous system feels soothed when it knows what's coming next. Routines are not about control. They are about comfort, about saying, I know what this next moment brings, and that makes me feel safe. There is something deeply human about predictability. It reminds us we're not drifting, that we still belong to the day. And you do. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are not waiting for life to resume. You are in it right now, and is asking for your attention. Let your rituals become quiet prayers. Water your plants at the same time. Write in your journal. Before bed, play your favorite record. Every Sunday afternoon, make the ordinary sacred. And if you ever wonder, does this even matter? Let me tell you now, yes, it matters. Because you matter, and every small choice you make is a love letter to your future self. Let your habits be shaped not by obligation, but by love, not to perform, but to stay awake to the beauty of your own unfolding. And if one morning you forget, if the tea goes cold, if the routine unravels, okay, start again. Grace is always waiting, always. You can begin again anytime, even at 3 PT, even after a hard cry, even after a week of silence. Life keeps offering new pages, and you get to write them in your own ink. So write slowly, write kindly, write honestly, because what you're living right now is not an afterthought. It is your sacred chapter, the one where you come home to yourself, the one where you stop chasing and start allowing, the one where you realize you are the author now, and the story still belongs to you. Your body is not broken. It's just asking for care. There's a quiet grief that comes with aging, not just the loss of others, but the slow, subtle changes in your own body. You reach for something and your hand shakes. You stand too quickly and feel lightheaded. You walk down the same hallway, and suddenly it feels longer. It's easy to say, I'm just getting old. It's tempting to believe this is the beginning of the end. But what if it's not the end? What if it's your body whispering, I still want to be here. I just need a little help. The truth is, your body isn't giving up on you. It's asking for your partnership. It's been with you through everything. The sleepless nights, the sleepless nights, years of labor, the caretaking, the celebrations and losses. And now, it's asking for a new relationship, not one of demand, but of compassion. You don't need to run marathons. You don't need to become someone else. You simply need to become someone else. Move with love. Start where you are, right here. Stretch your fingers, roll your shoulders, take a slow breath in, and feel the miracle of still being able to walk, not for distance, but for dignity. Let your feet meet the ground. Let your feet meet the ground like an old friend. Let your spine lengthen like it's reading the sky. Let your heartbeat remind you, I am still alive. You are not training for a goal. You are communing with yourself. Movement now is about preservation, about honoring the parts of you that still want to move. Even 5 minutes counts. Even small gestures matter. You are not too old to try. You are wise enough to know that trying slowly is still trying, and every bit of motion is a message to your muscles. I remember you. I still need you. Let your movements be gentle offerings to your knees, to your breath, to the miracle that you are still here. Do not compare yourself to who you were. You are not that person anymore. And that is not a failure. It is evolution. You are not weaker. You are deeper. You are not slowing down. You are listening. And what you hear, if you're very quiet, is your body saying, I still believe in us to take the walk, do the stretch, take the stairs slowly, and feel the pride of every step. Put music on, sway in the kitchen, dance with your memories, laugh at yourself if you lose balance, and then try again. Let movement be joy, let it be kindness, let it be presence. And if pain comes, pause, breathe, try a softer way. Your worth is not tied to performance. It is tied to your willingness to show up, even if it's just to sit on the porch and wave at the world passing by. Even that is movement. Even that is enough. Your body has not given up. It is still a sacred home. It is still yours to love. Treat it gently. Speak to it kindly. Speak to it kindly, because for all it's been through, it's still carrying you forward. And it will, if you let it. You were never meant to go through life without connection. Loneliness isn't just the absence of people. It's the ache of not being seen, not being heard, not being known, and being known. And yeah, connection doesn't always come the way it used to. Might be your phone is quiet. Might be your mailbox is empty. Might be the living room echoes more than it used to. But the truth is, you don't have to disappear just because life has changed. You are still here, and there are still ways, small, meaningful ways, to remind the world that you exist. Start with a wave. Yes, a wave. From the window to the mail carrier, to the child walking their dog. Connection begins with the smallest say good morning at the cafe. Ask the checker at the store how they're doing. Call someone, even if it's just to say, I thought of you today. You don't need long conversations. You need genuine ones. You need genuine ones. Don't need crowds. You need warmth. And that warmth can begin with one smile, one question, one voice. Technology can be your friend. Yes, it's not always easy, but learning to use it can open doors you didn't know were still waiting. You can FaceTime a friend, join an online group, even play a game with someone on the other side of the country. There are communities, digital and real, filled with people who feel just like you do. They're not waiting for perfect words. They're just hoping someone will say hello. And you can be that someone, and you deserve someone like that too. Frank, a retired widower, once told me he went weeks without a single real conversation. Until one day, he simply walked into the library and asked where the coffee machine was. That question turned into a 10-minute chat. That chat turned into a weekly visit, and eventually he found himself invited into a book club, not because of what he knew, but because he showed up. Yeah, because he showed up. Perfection, presence. They don't need you to be witty. They need you to be willing. And if your circle is small, that's okay. Even one person, a neighbor, a cousin, a walking partner can be your lifeline. And sometimes you might be your lifeline, their lifeline too. You never know who needs what you carry. Your laugh, your memory, your stories, especially your stories. Echo in emails. Let them dance in voice notes you send to someone you love. Your life has been full. It is still full. And that fullness deserves to be felt by others. Even if it's just this, you right now, reading this, realizing you still matter to the people who haven't even heard your voice yet. So speak, reach, wave, call, smile. Connection is not about numbers. It's about moments. And one good moment can change your whole day sometimes. It can change your life. Your mind still wants to grow. Give it that gift. The body might slow down with age, but the mind still craves wonder. Even now, your brain is still craves wonder. Quietly reaching out, asking for something new, something interesting, something meaningful. And here's the truth. Mental decline is not inevitable, but mental stagnation, that's a choice. You don't need to memorize poetry. You don't need to solve complicated math problems. You just need to be curious, and curiosity is one of the most beautiful things a human being can carry into their later years. Start small. Pick up a book you've always wanted to read, not because it's popular, but because it calls to you. Try a new hobby, even if it feels silly. Paint, knit, learn to cook a dish from a different country. Take a free online course. It doesn't matter if you master it. What matters is that you show up to it. Every new thing you learn is a light turning on inside your brain, a signal. Yes, I'm still alive, and I still care. Janet, a retired teacher I once met, confessed she was afraid she was starting to fade. She forgot small things, lost track of time, felt like her world was shrinking. But then, one day, she bought a used guitar. No goal, just curiosity. She played for 10 minutes a day. At first, it was clumsy, but soon her fingers learned, and her heart lifted. She wasn't chasing youth. She was feeding her soul. Your brain isn't done yet, not even close. Challenge it gently, invite it kindly, play word it, games, do puzzle, write letters, tell your life stories out loud. Even if no one's in the room, listen to podcasts, sing songs you haven't sung in years, look up the stars and learn their names again. You're not too old for wonder. You're the perfect age to appreciate it. And there's a hidden gift in all of this. When you keep your mind engaged, your emotions stabilize too. You feel less restless, less foggy, more you. That's what staying mentally active does. It doesn't just sharpen the mind, it softens the loneliness. Because in those moments of learning, you're not just doing something, you're becoming something, a fuller version of yourself. And the world needs that version, even if you're the only one who sees it. So light a candle, make some tea, and learn one thing today that you didn't know yesterday. No pressure, no timeline, no tests, just a quiet promise. I will not let my mind go dark. I will give it joy. I will give it color. I will give it love. Gratitude is not a luxury, as medicine when life has taken so much. People, places, memories, health. Still something left, something warm, something real, something worth thanking. Gratitude isn't pretending everything's fine. It's recognizing that some things still are. A soft pillow, a familiar song, the smell of rain, the way your hands still remember how to fold a towel just right. Start with that. Each morning, before your feet touch the floor, say thank you. Thank you for breath. Thank you for time. Thank you for the quiet gift of waking up one more day. Don't worry if it feels forced at first. Gratitude is a muscle. It strengthens with use. Write it down if you can. 3 things, big or small, They don't have to impress anyone. They only have to mean something to you. A hot cup of coffee, a hot cup of coffee, call from your son, the sound of birds at 4:45 in the morning. The more you notice, the more you feel, and feeling, that's the doorway back to joy. George, a retired firefighter, once told me he couldn't find anything to be grateful for. Not after losing his wife, not after the cancer diagnosis, not after his body changed and the world felt like it moved on without him. But then one morning, he noticed the way the light came through his curtains. Minutes, and he said out loud, "I'm thankful for this light. It didn't fix everything, but it opened something." And from that day on, he started saying thank you for one more thing each day. Now, years later, he still misses what he lost, but he's in love with what remains. That's what gratitude does. It makes what you do have finally feel like enough, and more than that, it heals. Studies show that people who practice gratitude sleep better, feel less anxious, and even have lower blood pressure. But this isn't about science. This is about your heart. It's about choosing, day after day, to honor what's left, to bless what still is, to give thanks not just for what you have, but for the fact that you can still feel thankful at all. And on the days when it's hardest, when the grief feels bigger than the room, that's when it matters most. Because even then, you are not without blessings. You are not without light. You are not without light. You are not without light. Without hope. So say thank you for your body, even if it's tired. For your breath, even if it's shallow. For your life, even if it looks different than you imagine. Because this life is still yours and is still sacred. You still have something to give, and the world still needs it. When we grow older, we're often told, subtly or directly, that our time to contribute is over, that we've already done enough, Now we should rest, disappear, step aside. But here's the truth they don't say loud enough. You never outgrow your value. You never become too old to matter. And the quickest way to remember that is to help someone else, not because help someone else. You have to, but because you can. You see, helping others doesn't need to be grand. You don't need to lead a movement, start a charity, or give away money. You can start with something as small as a phone call to someone lonelier than you, a smile to the person stocking the shelves, a handwritten note to a friend who lost touch, a plant given to your neighbor. Just because these aren't small, they're seeds, and they grow things inside you too. Margaret was 82 too, widowed and hadn't worked in 20 years. She told me once, "I feel invisible, like no one needs me anymore." But then she started volunteering one day a week, just handing out sandwiches at the local shelter. It wasn't physically demanding. It wasn't glamorous, but it made her feel useful, seen, needed. Within 2 months, her face looked different, softer, brighter. She said, "I remember who I am again." That's what giving does. It reconnects you to your essence, not the job title, not the parent, not the spouse, but you. The one who once held a friend's hand through grief, the one who knows how to cook that one dish just right, the one who survived so much and still chooses love. Even if you're homebound, you can still give. You can pray for someone who's hurting. You can call a younger person and ask how they're doing. You can write down your life stories to leave behind for others. You can listen deeply to someone who's so deeply never truly been hurt. The act of giving doesn't drain you. It fills you. It reminds you that your presence is still a blessing in this world. Even in your quietest days, you can still be someone's answered prayer. So find one act of kindness today, one person to bless, one corner of the world to soften, one way to remind yourself, I am still useful. I am still useful. I am still here. Because that's the truth. You are still here. You still matter. more than you know, loving yourself loudly, even when no one else does for most of your life. You were taught to love others, to show up, to give, to listen, to be kind. But how often were you taught to love yourself? Not just when you succeeded, not just when you looked a certain way, but in the quiet, ordinary moments, when no one is watching, when there's no applause. Because here's the quiet truth. Self-love is not selfish. It's survival. It's the warmth that keeps your spirit alive when the world feels cold. And it begins with the smallest things. Brushing your hair slowly, as if your hands remember the child you once were. Choosing clothes that make you feel beautiful, not for anyone else, but for the reflection that still matters in the mirror. Cooking a nourishing meal and plating it with care, even when you're dining alone. Lighting a candle not for guests, but for yourself. These are not luxuries, are sacred acts. They say, I am still worthy of tenderness. I am still worth showing up for. Speak to yourself the way you'd speak to a dear friend. No more harshness, no more I'm too old, or I have done more. Instead say, you made it through another day. I'm proud of you. You're doing your best, and that's enough. You are lovable, still, always. Start each morning not with judgment, but with a hand on your heart and a whisper, I'm glad you are, and a whisper, still here. And end each night not with regrets, but with a thank you to your body, your breath, your soul, for carrying you. Because self-love isn't a grand performance. It's in the gentle way you wrap a blanket around your legs, the way you forgive yourself again and again, the way you sit in the silence and say, even now I choose to care for you, even if the world forgets your name. You remember, no, even if no one else calls, you show up for yourself. That's not loneliness, that's presence, that's power. And in that sacred space of loving yourself out loud, you become whole, not waiting to be loved, but already, finally, loved by the one who knows you best. You let memory be a light, not a cage. As we grow older, memories visit us more often. Sometimes they come as gentle waves, a song from long ago, the smell of cinnamon, a laugh we almost forgot. Other times they come as sharp edges, regrets, losses, moments we wish we could change. But here's the tender truth. Memory is not meant to trap you. It's meant to illuminate you. You are not the pain you remember. You are the person who lived through it, who endured, who learned, who grew. Let your memories sit beside you like old friends, some joyful, some difficult, all sacred. Take down that dusty photo album. Look at those younger eyes, those awkward haircuts, those forgotten birthday parties. Don't flinch, smile, say, thank you for getting me here. Thank you for being brave, even when no one noticed. And when a painful memory rises, the one you tried to bury, the one you never told anyone, don't shove it away. Hold it gently. Say, I see you. I remember. You were hard, but I'm still here. Because remembering doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you're honest. It means you're whole. Some people fear aging because they think it's the end of their story. But what if is the chapter where everything finally makes sense, where all the memories, beautiful, broken, bittersweet, become threads in a rich, meaningful tapestry. Your life is not a straight line. It's a woven masterpiece. Belongs. Let your memories remind you. You have lived fully, bravely. And you are not just a collection of years. You are a collection of love. Reach out, even when it feels easier to stay silent when you live alone. A strange silence begins to settle in. Not just the quiet of the house, but the quiet between heartbeats. The silence of waiting for a call that never comes, of checking your messages and seeing nothing. At first you tell yourself, they're just busy. I don't want to bother anyone. I've always been independent. But slowly, that silence grows teeth. It begins to bite. And that's when the loneliness starts to whisper. You don't matter anymore, but here's the truth. You don't matter anymore, but here's the truth. Do. And the silence is lying to you. Because there are people out there, right now, who would love to hear from you. They just don't know how much you need them, yet. Don't wait for someone to break the silence. Be the one who picks up the phone, sends the message, asks for coffee, writes the letter, not because you're needy, but because you're human. Connection isn't weakness. It's nourishment. It doesn't have to be big. Even a 5-minute chat with your neighbor, a smile to the mail carrier, a joke shared at the grocery store checkout. These moments add up. They stitch your heart back together. Frank, 81, once told me, I didn't realize how much I missed conversation until I had one. He started small. A weekly chess game online. Then a community center meetup. Now he's the first to say hello. Not because he suddenly became extroverted, but because he remembered. He still matters. It can be a bridge, not a barrier. Video calls. Voice notes, online forums for people your age. You're never too old to connect. You're never too late to be heard. Let the world see your smile again. Let your voice fill a room again. Let your voice fill a room again. Let someone remember how warm it feels just to talk with you. Because your words still carry wisdom. Your presence still brings comfort. And your reaching out might just be what helps someone else too. And now, begin again, gently. If you've come this far, it means something inside you is still alive. A flicker, a question, a hope you might not have named aloud. So let me say it for you. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not too late, broken, not beyond love. You are right on time. Might be your days are quieter now. Might be you eat dinner alone. Might be the phone doesn't ring like it used to. But that doesn't mean your life is empty. It means there's space to grow something new, to become someone softer, wiser, freer. Every breath you take is still a vote for staying, for showing up, for starting again. You don't need a grand plan. You don't need perfect health. You don't need to be busy, to be valuable. You just need to begin. With small sacred things, a deep breath, a cup of tea, a smile at yourself in the mirror, a whispered, I'm proud of you, for still being here, especially when it's hard, is the most courageous thing you can do. You've survived so much, and now it's time to live softly, to light candles for yourself, to laugh at silly movies, to write letters you might never send, to walk slowly through the garden and ever send, whisper thanks, to believe that your existence is still a miracle. Let love find you again, in a new form. Might be not romantic love, but the kind that tucks your blanket in, the kind that notices your breath, the kind that lives in the pause before the kettle whistles. You are allowed to be tender with yourself, to cry when you need to laugh when you least expect it, to rest without guilt. This isn't the end of your story. This is the chapter where you come home to yourself. So light one small candle, just one for the person you've been, the person you are, and the one you're still becoming. And then, with all the grace and softness in the world, begin again. You are loved. You are seen. You are enough. And most of all, you are not alone. Thank you for staying. Thank you for living. Now go on and live a little more.